49ers Falcons.
All I'm really going to say is, obviously first half was kind of Atlanta's time. They had the passing game going. They had the big touchdown passes to Julio Jones. My brother was getting on me for the way I pronounce his name, so I just want to make sure I got it right that time. But Kaepernick has really impressed me over the last couple weeks. It's funny. I can't remember if I said this on Thursday, but it was like, I think right after the first quarter of the Green Bay-San Francisco game, I made a comment that I always kind of thought he was a little overrated or something like that, and he heard me that game. And, he didn't have one of his best games yesterday, I thought, but he definitely played well enough in that running game. That's the part that impressed me about San Francisco. I mean, we know about Frank Gore, but the guys like LaMichael James and Anthony Dixon, these are guys who really didn't get too many touches during the regular season. I think James had a few down the stretch. But basically, they haven't used these guys all year, and it's like now they're fresh, and they're using so many different looks. And I think that was what was difficult for Atlanta to deal with, just the different looks in the running game, and that definitely got the passing game going. But I think that, jumping a little ahead, I think the one thing that really intrigues me is going to be San Francisco's defense. The new guys, the new kids in town, basically. The Patrick Willises, the Navarro Bowmans, Justin Smith, Aldon Smith, all these guys. And now they get to verse kind of the forefathers of the defense in the football with the Ravens. And I just think that is going to be an insane matchup. But, bottom line is we've said it all along about Matt Ryan in Atlanta. They're a good team on paper, but we've seen the last couple of weeks they're very, very erratic in terms of closing the game out. And they were able to overcome that mistake against Seattle, but it caught up to them this week in a big way. So that was the difference.
And you know what? They almost didn't make it out against Seattle.
Yeah. No, they got through by the skin of their teeth, but like I'm saying, it caught up with them. Their luck ran out this week.
You know what? There's no doubt about that. And simply, to me, when I watch this game...
Well, didn't I tell you, by the way, when we were sitting there yesterday, I said this game reminds me a lot of the week before?
Yeah. When I first got there, we were like...
You weren't the only one.
We talked about it, and it really was just like the week before against
Atlanta
Seattle.
Jumped out to a big lead.
Matt Ryan started 10 of 13, 170-something yards.
But he finished with 396 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Matt Ryan
yesterday?
played a great game, but he had a costly interception while Eric was eating wings. But seriously, I watched this game, and you thought exactly the same thing. You're like, wow, look at them jump ahead. But you're like, can they hold on this week, or are they going to blow it again? And to me, the simplest way for me to look at this game is that San Francisco is setting a trend in their 2 playoff games. They hang with you in that first half, and then they just wear you down in the second half. Offensive line and defensive line, they are just overpowering. That offensive line on San Francisco is really good. Really good. And when I watched this game, Kaepernick played well within himself, nothing crazy. He didn't even have his first carry until halfway through the third quarter, I think was his first carry.
Something like that, yeah.
But I was thinking about it like this, and I want both of you to answer me on this. But if I said to you last week before this game was played that when the game was over, Kaepernick was going to rush for under 50 yards, that Julio Jones, Julio Jones, Tony Gonzalez, and Roddy White were all going to be over 100 yards, and Matt Ryan was going to have a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, who would you have told me would have won the game?
I mean, based on just looking at numbers, you lean towards Atlanta.
The reason I bring that up is because to me, Atlanta did what Atlanta's done all year long to get to this point, and San Francisco was just the better team. You know what I'm trying to say? Atlanta did what they did all year long. All year they were in games like this. They played like this all year.
No, I know they were in a lot of close games, and They jumped out to a big lead, and it's the same as last week. They got the big lead, and then everybody kind of, just took it easy almost.
Well, that final drive was big because they had the chance to go with, like, what was it, 2 minutes left,
Yeah,
I think?
it was bad. I don't know whether it was bad play calling or bad quarterbacking. Something was off there. It didn't look right. Trying to force the ball into situations. A little rollout, what was it, on third down where he rolled out and who was it, jumped up and blocked the pass?
I don't remember,
I
but I know
number
what you're talking
55,
about,
yeah.
though, yeah.
Then the fourth down play where they run it and he just dump it over the middle pretty much. And to be honest, I think a flag should have been called. If you rewatch the play, I mean, the defender was all over the guy. But
Well, here's the question: the one that wound up not mattering, the Harry Douglas catch at the. It was during that final drive, I think. It was the one
Towards the end of the game where
the one where
it hit the
Harbaugh
ground
flipped
and-
out.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I understand why they didn't overrule it because, as much as it did trickle out a little bit towards the end, I mean, it was clearly he had control of it the whole way. And it was one of those they couldn't find the irrefutable evidence to overturn it, at least I thought. So,
yeah,
but no, there were a few of them like that. They had every opportunity.
yeah. I'll tell you what, I thought what really could have been the turning point was when, Crabtree fumbled on the goal line there, and Atlanta got the ball back. If they were able to
in those
sustain,
moments, you have to score on the next possession.